Today we're going to look at the Great British Pound against the Japanese Yen. So, market participants that seem convinced that the Bank of Japan will stick to its dovish stance to support the fragile domestic economy. Dovish means bearish in Forex term. And then you got the Bank of England that could pause its rate hiking cycle this coming week, amid signs that the UK wage are cooling, preventing bullish traders from placing aggressive bets in the British pound. So you got two somewhat dovish currencies, and that equals not a lot of movement or volatility in the pair. But let's just go to the charts to confirm. And the charts are somewhat marked up as I was teaching my daughter how to recognize a trend. So for you folks out there as well, if you see price moving higher, you can color that segment green. If you see price moving lower, you can color that segment red. And then when you see price moving higher again, you can color that segment green. Now the way to do it is kind of assessing trend. Where did price stop going down and started going up? And where does price stop going up and started going down? And where did price stop going down and started going up? So that's one way to verbally assess trend. This is one way to visually assess trend. All right, so I'm going to take these off. This might be a zone of pair, but this zone appeared to work. This zone did not work. This zone did work. All right, we're going to just start from scratch. All right, so this is the monthly chart. If I had to look at it, look at current price go down. Price kind of stopped down here, so I'm just going to mark a low. We'll say at 148, right? So our current price go up. This area might be of interest, 168, but I'm going to go further up. Why did price stop here? Started going down. I look to the left. There might be some sellers in this area here. So for now, I'm just going to mark the high there. Okay, so let's go down to the weekly chart. And from what we can see is price was trending up, right? Recognized by higher highs, high lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. When price shot back down, it kind of invalidated the uptrend. So when I look at price currently, we're in a sideways market, right? Going back to the monthly real quick, I mentioned that, let's just see, this might have been of interest, but the fact that price did not, I guess price went further down enough. It did take out, this candle took out this pivot low, making this zone somewhat valid. Alright, so let's just see that on the weekly again. Alright, so when we go to the, so this was a nice zone if you can recognize it. If I go to the weekly, what I would have done is show up my zone based on the red extended range candle, right, which took out all these pivot lows. So when price comes back, you do have a good trade, right? Let's just see the volume in that candle. Volume was decent relative to all the other candles, right? So that was a good setup. Price penetrated the zone less than 50%, so we'll just keep that zone on there we'll say that there are weekly sellers at 166, we'll say 5. Alright, so there might be some buy levels in this wick here on a smaller time frame. I just want to go up and to the left. I like this area here, but that's further up at 180. I don't anticipate price getting there anytime soon, so we'll disregard. So price stopped. The reason why price stopped here was that there were sellers, and you can see that in these two wicks that are pointing up, right? Price couldn't go any higher, and the sellers kind of kicked in and dropped price all the way down. Alright, so we're going to go to the daily chart now. And you can even see that zone even better on the daily. So this was a beautiful drop in price. You had a basing, and then you had a huge drop on huge volume. That was a beautiful trade setup that worked out, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for volume and long extended range candles. Here was potentially one. Look at that volume, did work out, right? Let's just so this is the football playing field that I'm creating as prices between a weekly seller zone and a daily buyer zone. But price came into the zone twice. I don't know if it's going to work out again, as there may not be any remaining unfilled orders. So let me just go down and to the left. That might be a nice zone at 145, 143. I would take the 143 area. The area above that is serving as, this could be, if this was football again, this is your offensive line, and this is the quarterback. So the defensive line or the safeties are not going to get to the quarterback because they're protected by the offensive line. So this is called a level on level. So you have a zone on zone. So you have a daily buyer zone on top of another daily buyer zone. But we're going to just deal with the zones that are in play at the moment. We'll just mark it. Again, it may not work again. That is, we're going to say that is the daily buyers zone. Daily buyers zone at 150, 156. Alright, so there's no trade setups. Price is right in the middle between two zones. Now let's just go to the 4-hour chart, just out of curiosity. Okay, you might have something here. This must have been some type of news event. I don't even want to mark it. Not to say that this area can't work out again, but okay, we'll just do this here. At least we'll recognize the level. That may or may not work again. Alright, so if I go down and to the left, price is here, price came down to here. Let's just put a line so we know as a point of reference. Here's another example of volume, right? This candle here, it worked out twice. I probably would have drew the zone based on this doji candle right here. Alright, so I don't really see anything of interest. Let's just go down to the hourly chart. So you do have a lot of volume in this area here. Just go to the left. I would anticipate if price comes back down this area, we should get at least a reaction. Otherwise, let's just zoom back out to the daily. As I mentioned, you got somewhat two dovish currencies. I anticipate price kind of becoming more volatile this week when the Bank of England announces their rates. So we'll revisit this later this week. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.